Do you know what? I'm actually forgetting which part this is. Is it 7 or is it 8? I think it's 8. Yeah. In that case, then welcome to part 8. So continuation of the cowl here. So you get everything put together. You put this C10 in here, and everything's all lined up. I've lined up the holes here, but more important, I've lined up this hole because that's where the motor comes through. So I mean, I can always sand that bit if I need to. So sanding. So I've done half and half. So this half I've not touched. This half I have. And now I need to put the final fine grade on that, which I think is an 800 grade. Now they suggest in the instructions that you start at the back here to get the former. I actually disagree with that, and I'll tell you for why. The reason being is, if you start at this edge here and work your way back to about here, right, you're taking all that excess off. But if you start at the back and work your way forward, you have a good chance of taking too much off here. Yeah, if you take too much off here, you can't put it back on. So I start from here and work my way back to here, and then this part I very hardly even touch it, and I will form that when I stick it back on the fuselage, and then I know it will be right. So take it all off here. Well, I'm not telling you to take it off here, but this is my opinion, is take it all the way off here and then just sort of semi leave it alone here. You just got to do enough to take this burnt, because this is burnt by the laser that cuts it. You just take that bit of burnt off, yeah, and then leave it alone, and just work your way from the front to the middle to the back. Don't forget to have a go at the underneath. Now this one here is a bit too deep, and I don't really particularly want to sort of sand it all out just to get to that bit. But anyway, this gets covered, so it just needs to be smooth. And then you've got to shape that edge there, and that just takes a little bit of patience to do that. So you're starting off with this. So you start off with your rough grade. I think this is 60 or an 80. It's an 80. I've got an 80 here, so it doesn't matter whether it's 60 or 80. Start off here. Start off there. And work your way around. Work your way around until you get to about here with your rough stuff, and stop. And then you get your finer grade, which this one here is a 120. That's a 120. And then you shape it, okay, and then you've got a finer one, that's great. And then you just touch that one, just touch it at the back, where all this will be gone and smooth round. And then finally, I have still yet to use this. I've got I think it's a P180. Is it an 800? I think it's an 800. Yeah, it's an 800 grade there. And then just go over that with your 800s at the back, like that. Yeah, just take that burnt edge off. You've got to take the burnt edge off anyway. And then when you come to offer it up to the fuselage, you'll have a better chance of making it fit, and all this hard work's done. And you'll see I just touched the line there, barely touched it. And what I'll do now is I'll go over the, well, once I finish this half, I'll go over the 800. I think I've got 1,000 somewhere. I'll just go over that with 1,000, just ever so lightly. In fact, you could, if you really wanted to. There's a product called flour paper, and it's so fine. It's like flour. I don't know the ins and outs of it. It's been a long time since I've done that, because when I used flour paper, I was building gliders like the chap at the club there, 4-meter wingspan gliders, and you want to get it super smooth. That's when you use flour paper. But I know it as flour paper. I don't know what the proper name of it is, but I just call it flour paper. I used to get it from the model shop. So that's what you got to do to get from that to that, in my opinion. Anyway, so, and don't forget to have a go at this part as well, because as you can see, this is quite staggered here, and this is definitely not level. So just have a go on the inside there, and you should be all right. So when I finish this bit, we're going to go and put the magnets in and get the sellotape out. Okay. Right, so that's what I ended up with, and possibly if I can find a finer grade, I'll give it another once over with the finer grade. Probably could be a little bit better here perhaps, but apart from that, it's pretty much okay. The shank here seems to be okay. Yeah, a little bit there, but you know, it's missing it. So that's the main thing. So that's coming out all right as far as I'm concerned. So we're going to do the magnets next. Okay. And so what's next? Well, the next thing is that we have to put the magnets into the fuzz and into the other side of the cowl. So what you do is you mix up some 2-part epoxy, pop it in the hole, put your magnets in, put a bit of sellotape over the top of them, put your opposing magnets on the end of them, making sure they're attracted to each other, and then you put the cowl on. Well, before you put the cowl on, you put some epoxy in the holes there and there, yeah, and the magnets sit on top of the other magnets, which is now on top of the sellotape. You put the cowl on, and then you tape it into position under a little bit of stress to force the cowl to meet the fuselage. Let it dry or go off, and the result is this. So you pop off the sellotape. Now, see if I can just get that off there. Put that on a bit too well, I think. Come on. There you go. It's coming. There you are. There you are. So you've now got magnets in the fuzz, opposing magnets in the cowl. And now it should slip on and off quite well, and hopefully, yeah, I can feel the magnets bite in there, but not so much that you can't pull it off. So there you go, and just do that, it sort of snaps in. So that's that bit done. That's your cowl done for now. So I'm just going to put that to one side for now in one piece. I'll put that on my shelf, and moving rapidly on. Now this is where I've got a bit of a tongue twister going on. That's the photo there showing you what to do about the magnets, and that's in step 3 on page 19. So, cabane strut construction. Well, this is a cabane, if you're wondering what a cabane is. Now it says cabane struts use the plan to bend the two 20 gauge wires into shape to make a right hand and a left hand version of the cabanes. Locate and remove the, now this is, I can't pronounce this, obeshi parts, C-A-B-R and C-A-B-L, R being right and L being left from sheet 18. And pin the obeshi parts to the board, clean the wire with parts with abrasive paper to make a good key for the glue. Pin the wire parts down, using the obeshi, using the etched lines to align them correctly. So basically what they're telling you to do, it's on the plan here. They're telling you to bend the wire to shape and glue it on, and then what you've got to do then is shape the inner part. So the outer part is wood, inner part is the wire. You make that shape at the top, and once it's all glued on, it's all gone off, just take the corners off here so it's sort of more streamlined etc. And you'll do a right and a left, which obviously you will have marked that one with an L and that one with an R. So now you've got a right and a left. Put it. So that little piece there goes at the back. So now you got your cabanes. Now they're done. The next step is to make the cylinders. So this is what you've got to do. Now I'm going to show you what you should end up with. You should end up with something that looks like that. The rounded cylinder end there, and this is how you do it. Now let me just adjust you down a little bit. You'll feel more comfortable and much better off for it too. Now from memory, let me just put that a bit more secure. There are 11 pieces each. So let's see what it says. 3 cylinders are required. Cut a length of 1mm diameter carbon rod, 27mm long, locate, or 2.7 centimeters if you like. Locate and remove the 332 part E1 from sheet 6. Stick a piece of masking tape on the side of E1 and insert the carbon rod into the hole in the disc as shown, which will look like, pardon me, that. Okay, and remove 11 132 E2s. Well, the E2s are these, and followed by the E2s are these, followed by the larger E3, which are these. And put on the carbon rod. Repeat alternating the 11 small larger discs to produce a finned engine cylinder. So basically what they're saying is you take the little one, it just jumped away there, didn't it? Odd. Well, let's put that in there like that. So you take, always when you're doing it on the camera, you take the little one and then the big one and then the little one and then the big one. Like that, just alternating. Here we go. So that's 22 and the two ends 24. So you want a big one there. There you go. Imagine me doing this 3 times on camera. It'd take forever and ever and ever, wouldn't it? Or at least it would seem so. And now a small one. There you go, and a large one, and then a small one. It's getting tedious already, isn't it? You just keep going like that. Okay, nearly there, nearly at the end, and then the very last one, from memory, is an E4, which is on a separate sheet altogether. So you'll have to go and source that one. There you are. Now these will end up being painted black, so you know you haven't got to make a big show out of it. Come on, go on, go on. I know you want to. Yes, you do. Oh, there you go. And that one, and now there should be one last small one. There you go. Then your big one, and then your E4, which is that one, goes on the very top. So that's what you end up with. And then what you do, you straighten it all up. Yeah, straighten it all up. That's about right. And then what they like to term quite a lot is wicking. So wick a bit of glue in. Like I said, you'll be painting this black, so it hasn't got to be exam standard. There you go, nearly done. There. And you just hold that together for a couple of minutes, and then you end up with basically that. Okay, and then all you got to do then, peel your tape off and round off that top end there, which then ends up like that. Okay, and I'll let this set just for a few seconds. So once you've done that, you put all this to one side, and guess what the next bit is? The guns. Yes, the guns. So I'm going to turn off the camera and get all these parts together, and we'll look at the guns. Right then, machine gun. Locate parts G1 × 4 and G2 from the sheet. Now G2 is part of another part, so it's an infill which you should have kept earlier. If you lost it, well, tough titty. Anyway, so pin the breeches into position on the plan and stick part G2 in place at the rear of the breech parts, ensuring that the top of G2 is level with the top of the rear of the G2 parts as shown on the plan. Sand G2 to a rounded shape as shown on the plan. Right, there's the plan. Okay, and there's your breech, and there's G2 there, which is rounded off, and as you can see, I've preempted it a little bit, painted it black. That'll all come to light in a minute. Black and white. Right, ba-boom. Cut 2 lengths of 8mm balsa dowel to a length of 47mm. Paint the ends black. Avoid getting paint on the curved surfaces. Cut out 2 printed paper barrel cooling jacket covers and guide sheet 6. And apply paper glue to the back of the paper print. Stick the edge with the wider black bar to the dowel, making sure it is square in line with the centre line of the dowel. Then a clean flat surface, firmly roll the dowel to wrap the paper print around it and stick into place. Like that. Okay, cut 2 pieces 2mm OD aluminium along 20mm aluminium tube 20mm long. Drill a 2mm hole in the end of the dowel 7mm deep and 2mm from where the printed paper ends. Join the underside as shown. Insert the aluminium tubing into the hole, leaving 30mm exposed. Check that it's level and in line with the centre of the dowel before wicking CA to the joint. In actual fact, on the real Maxim gun, the barrel's at the bottom. But anyway, no matter. So you end up with that. That's what you end up with. Okay, there you go. And you should have 2 of them. So they look like that. Okay, now this is where it sort of gets a little bit complicated now, because I've not practiced this bit. Step 5. On the fuselage, stick a piece of clear tape across the decking with one edge in line with the rear of the decking. Why? I'm not entirely sure about that. Okay, well, let's get the fuselage and read it again. Okay, so what they're saying in step 5, on the fuselage, stick a piece of clear tape across the decking with one edge line the rear of decking F4. So that means, let's get a piece of clear tape, which I should have read ready really, shouldn't I? Never mind. Feeling with a bit of singing while you're at it. And so just find the end of the tape. There we go. Right, so what they're saying is, put a bit of clear tape along there, so I think a bit thinner. Now the reason they want that done is because you've got to glue this in situ, so you don't want you to get glue or glue the guns in at this stage. This is just so you get the barrels lined up properly. I don't actually say that in the instructions, but that's what they mean. So you put the breech in, and just a little bit of extra tape there. Just pop that, fold that back, put the breech in. You hold that down with a bit of masking tape. Oh, these are a bit of fresh stuff. Okay, put that down like that. Then offer the gun barrels up with the cooling jackets attached, and you put a bit of blue tack at the front there, okay, and make sure the guns are lined up. Are they straight? Well, that one isn't. So I have to line it up by eye, and I think I need a bit more height on that blue tack. There you go. And then what you have to do, once you're satisfied they're lined up and straight, is put wick some glue in. They seem to be quite keen on wicking things, don't they? So there you go. Clean the end off. Like that. Just double check it before it goes off. And that's basically what you've got to do. So I'll just let that go off. Once it's dried okay and everything, I'll take that out and put a bit more glue in. Then they say put some paint on the end of the barrels, which I've already done anyway. So that now concludes that part there. Let's just finish off, see what it says. Check that are level in line with breeches, and that the rears of the cooling jacket rests on the decking, and that the aluminium barrels are at the bottom as shown. And let's have a look at the drawing. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's absolutely dandy. Wick CA into the joints between the cooling jackets and the breeches. When the glue is set, remove the gun assembly and paint the aluminium gun barrels and breeches parts matte black. So there we have it, ladies and gents. And then after that we turn to page 22, and it's the construction of the tailplane elevator. So that's going to be in the next part. So thank you very much for watching. This is 8, I think, so I'll see you in part 9. Thank you for your time.